as a product designer, I see myself as in a position of creating new things. And I every day I got so excited about creating some things that people start using. If it's just about the creation, I'm happy with working for other businesses. But if it's about a dream, then probably I want to step out. I had a challenge for years and years. There were days, unfortunately, I needed to move out because some political issues and because I was working in terms of getting girls and women more active in the IT and tech industry, and the government didn't like it as well. So I needed to get out of Iran.
What are the challenges you have been going through at the very beginning?
Everything is a challenge. I moved to a new country. I couldn't speak their language and I didn't have any idea about that situation. I didn't have a home, I didn't have a settlement. And after like a 4 months, 5 months, we launched the first version of VGANG, and I was proud. My first days wasn't the day I started. I think it was the day I launched the first version here in Portugal. I did it. I really did it. I wasn't patient enough. I was like it. I was always in a rush trying to do these things and that things and these things. I was so excited about everything. And now I found I can't do it anymore. So the first things I learned during this process was being patient.
Do you enjoy what you're doing?
I love it. I love it.
Asman, thank you so much for coming to our first episode of The Life of a Founder. I'm so pleased to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really honored to have this opportunity to be your first guest.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. So, a brief to The Life of a Founder before we go through your story. This is all about you here today. So why we are doing this in Equity Match? I do believe behind any fund there is a very strong story. Be a fund is a challenging job, very challenging, just few succeed. And each of them, they go through an up and down every day. It's a roller coaster, and many of them, they give up on that because it's very tiring. So to not give up means having such a strong motivation. It will allow you every day to go ahead and looking forward, right? Even the days when everything is so negative and you would like to say, okay, you know what, let me find a job and move forward. But I'm sure it's not your case. And I'm sure it's not the case of any founders. Many have been talking to, they're very focused and they really want to succeed one day. So thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your story with Equity Match itself and everyone is watching today podcast. Let me start with why. Okay, so why did you decide to start up? Why did you decide to do this?
Um, the idea of having a startup, I think, I don't know, maybe get back to a long years ago, because I was working for different businesses and always I was thinking about, I started my career as a product designer, yeah. So as a product designer, I see myself as in a position of creating new things. And I every day I got so excited about creating some things that people start using that things. So I remember when I designed and we developed that feature in Digicolour, the e-commerce, I was working for it. And then I saw the banners in everywhere in the highways and like streets and everywhere. And I see people are talking about that things. I totally remember the excitement and the energy of, being a creator, creating something that people are using it and they like it and they want to do it more. So I had that feeling, and it was actually because of that things I love product design as well, and I continue my path toward that. After a while, I feel like I find this challenge for myself. Am I want to be part of the big startup and creating some feature for that one, or do I want to create some things different? And was a moment I was thinking about. It depends based on what do I want to create. If it's just about the creation, I'm happy with working for other businesses. But if it's about a dream, then probably I want to step out of the businesses and normal works I have and go and create that one. So I had a challenge for years and years, for like almost 10, 12 years. And then I am Iranian, yeah. I was living back in Iran. And there were days, unfortunately, I needed to move out because some political issues. And because I was working in terms of getting girls and women more active in the IT and tech industry, and the government didn't like it as well. So I needed to get out of Iran. I got out of Iran and I was thinking about, okay, maybe this is the mission. If I cannot follow this idea of letting everyone has a equal right and living, helping people to be responsible and to be owner of their own life, maybe I cannot do that things in Iran, but maybe I can create some things that help people to do it in like a business way. Maybe it's hard to actually connect that sort of a mission to like a business SaaS platform that I have right now, but I try to kind of use that mission and just reflect it on the business day-to-day things I want to do. And it was the moment I decided to go for the a startup. However, this startup nowadays I'm working is a pivot after like a 3 times, but the story started from that point.
mean, that's a great beginning. I'm very proud of you actually because you come from a very tough regime. I have to say, I don't want to go into politics, but probably Iran was the toughest regime when it comes to women, gay, and any form of life outside their believing. So I'm very proud you had the courage to go outside and inside also doing what you've been doing. Now, there is always the first day, always. And when you start, you must be so excited because, I mean, only if you start is such an excitement. You keep be excited every day, you can do something great. So, how do you feel that day?
The day I start, I think my first days wasn't the day I started. I think it was the day I launched the first version here in Portugal. Yeah, because I started back in Iran and then I moved to a new country. I couldn't speak their language and I didn't have any idea about that situation. I didn't have a home. I didn't have a settlement. I just moved here, needed to just do all the things and all the stuffs. And after like a 4 months, 5 months, we launched the first version of VGANG, and I was proud. I was deeply proud on myself because it was something more than just creating something. It was like achieving a mission in your life when you are getting out, when you feel like there is no hope anymore. And then you feel like, okay, I will put all my energy on creating some things. Maybe I can continue from here. And then you will move, you will lose all of the stability you already have. And you are starting to create everything step by step. You are getting back to like 10 years before you were. And then one day you will launch your product to the market and you feel like I did it. I really did it. It's the dream comes to true, and it was all the excitement, all the I was proud to myself. I was like, I did it.
It was a good feeling, I suppose. Yeah.
Of course,
Now, at the very beginning, it's pretty tough. So that's a new life. You become a founder. So it's a completely different way to go, right? So, what are the challenges you have been going through at the very beginning?
everything is a challenge. Everything is challenge because you have an idea, yeah, and you try to validate that idea in a different stage. So I'm coming from user experience background. It means I did a lots of research. I talked with a lots of different people. I try to understand the problem they are facing and try to create and design a solution they really wanted. But at the end, I had a product and we developed that product and we present that product to the market. So still all the interview was a theoretical part, and now we were in like a practical part. We would see if really people are using this platform, if really people are paying to using that platform. It was a second question. So every day was a challenge when we launch. So it's a part of the technical challenges or like a setting up issues, bugs, and everything like that. When we launched, I started sending an email to a lot of different people, and people didn't get back to me. So I was every day I was sending emails, sending emails, sending email, and nobody got back to me. So I was like after 3 months, I was like, shit, we never can get anyone come and use that platform. Like a very few ones we get back. And then it was actually the time I met my co-founder, a very excited person who joined, and she really believed on that mission as well. She was like, don't worry, I will fix it. And she started with lots of energy and send like, I don't know how many emails she sent, but people start getting back to us. I don't know, it was about the timing or it was about her energy or whatever, but people start getting back to us. People start writing back to us and people start signing up in the platform. But the moment of getting scared, the moment you feel like, what if after a year of development and research and thinking, I present this product to the market and it don't work, what will happen? It was just the first challenge. So every day I'm facing with this issue. Yeah. Every day after for example, right now we are in an accelerator or we have a new people are working with us. And every day I'm asking myself, am I really capable of managing these things? Are we really in a place of generating money? Is it some things we really want to do? Are we in the right path? So every day I have lots of questions like that. I need to answer to it, and I need to answer to it very honest to my by being very honest to myself, because it's not just about my life anymore. It's about my and the whole team and the business which is there and the service we are providing. So I can say, yeah, every day is a tough day.
I mean, questioning is a very smart thing to do. Even every day, I do the same at the age of 50 plus. I'm still questioning myself every day. I do believe questioning is very good. Questioning makes you thinking and improving. So everyone should question themselves every day. And I've done 5 startups in my life, and it's an absolutely nightmare at the very beginning. And that's why you must be so committed to do, because it will change everything. How did be a founder change your life for what was before?
I think it's the things. Before that, I was part of the team. I didn't take that much of a challenge or risk. I wasn't responsible for the success by the biggest mean. And I was responsible for just the team I'm working with it. So I didn't have any idea about what's going on in the next step. Since I am a founder, I am the one who is responsible for every steps from the salary to the success of the platforms. Yeah. So the first things I learned during this process was being patient. I wasn't patient enough. I was like it. I was always in a rush trying to do these things and that things and these things. I'm so excited about everything, deciding so fast on everything. And now I found I can't do it anymore. I can't just hear some things and make a decision immediately and say it to everyone. I need to get back. I need to be patient. I need to think, do it twice or three times about one specific actions. And the other thing I learned is about my mind, actually, how I can keep my mind safe, because all of this stress and all of these pressures can make people frustrated, can make me frustrated. So it's the reason, actually, you asked me where am I living, and it's the reason I got out of Lisbon, because I felt at least living in a nature will give me an opportunity of just reflecting the stress outside, being in a nature, grounding, and having that connection with the nature can help me to just protecting myself as well. Because unless all of the stress, all of the pressures, every day's talking, every day's responsibilities can somehow burn you out. So I needed to think about a way to keep myself more sustainable as well.
I'm fully agree. I'm the guy who goes in the mountain, on the sea, and I can stay there for weeks. I mean, noisy upsets me, and I do believe you need absolutely nothing in front of you, which means the ocean is the best thing to look forward. How do we build city? Is the perfect way how to stop your brain. So you do well to go outside and funding yourself. Uh, how does it look like your daily, day to day?
Okay. So it's I have a puppy. I have a very small 4 months puppy. So I will wake up soon, like at 6 a.m. somethings, because she will sit on my face and I need to wake up. So we wake up with my puppy and then we are going out walking a bit and doing a bit of meditation. This is something new I learned from being a founder, because I wouldn't do that anymore. before, sorry, and then I start a bit of a meditation, then get back to my laptop and I start checking all the messages and emails I received last night or since the time I didn't work. So I would try to just answer that one and make sure everything is on a way. The next things I'm doing is checking the number of installments and number of the purchases, new subscription purchases that we have. And the third things I'm doing is like I open the platform and work with all the pages, going through all the features, make sure everything is working and trying and testing everything. All of this stuff's been going for like an hour or 2 hours, something like that. And then at 9 a.m., we start our daily calls. So the daily call is with the audit team. We are talking about, okay, what we want to do and what challenges we are facing. Sometimes it's actually very informal and talking about ourselves and the funniest stories that happened last night and stuff like that. And after that, we have lots of different calls and like talking to the suppliers, talking with the retailers, sending the email marketing, trying to understand why the user convert or didn't convert or all of this stuff like that. And the show will happen until the like a 7, 8 p.m. At 7, 8 p.m. it's time for me to just say, okay, that's enough. I need to get a break and just go and do something extra, something different. So as I'm living in a wood, maybe sometimes I'm going for a walk. Sometimes I just going outside and playing with my puppy. And then after that, I will come back after dinner and stuff. 1 hour before sleeping, I again check all the emails, all the messages, all the contact inquiries in the contact centers and everything. If nothing, if everything be calm and like quiet, I will go to sleep for the next day.
Do you enjoy what you're doing?
I love it. I
Uh,
love it.
you know, take one day. In this process of being a founder, what do you enjoy the most?
It's about every day you are facing with a different challenge. Even the challenge type are not same. So one day your challenge is about I don't know, we need to move from AWS to Google Cloud, and the other day is about this user trying to install the application. There is no bug, but they can't do that things because the experience is not enough. And the other there is like about, okay, they buy this subscription and the orders had some issues, so how we need to fix that things, how we need to make sure, every day you have a challenge that the type of challenge even not the same. So I love these things because I can think about a different side of the work, not just being on a design part, not just about a technical side. There are lots of different areas I need to think about it and provide the out of the box solutions, talking with people. I really enjoy the talking to people to understand, okay, what they really want. What's the reason behind, what's the root cause behind this, everything happening. So these stuff are the ones I really love about being a founder because you have the opportunity to think more than just one topic. You can think about everything, coming with the solutions, and also you have opportunity to try and fail. However, it's a luxury to try and fail in a startup, but anyway, it will happen in a founder life because you're still on earlier stage. So you will test these things. This is not working. Then you will test another thing, then another thing, and then you are creating the secret sauce of your business by yourself, which is very important, I think.
Absolutely, you must test. I mean, be a founder. The beauty of be a founder that you must not be scared of failing by testing. It does work, change, pivot, and do something different. As long as you have, as I say to everyone, enough cash and power, mental power to move forward, of course you must do it. Now, you started from scratch, completely from scratch. You have been running for a while, already generating some revenues. So, how does the life change the more your startup grows?
Hope is coming. Hope is coming. I think the first one who will buy a subscription, I know the name of that person. I know the shop name. I know everything about that person, what they were selling, because that person was the one who bring hope to our startups. Like people are buying our services. And every day when new people are joining, when new people are opening our newsletter, when new people are just emailing us or putting a comment or something like that, they create hope and hope and hope. And they we push us to believe on our mission, to believe, okay, this mission is working. When people are sending emails and says, We really love like-minded platforms, and we feel like it's the way we really want to go through it. We feel like there are other people in the same mission with us, and it gives us a power to go and continue on our journey. So I can say after a while, part of us, part of a founder, part of a me, kind of used to challenges of a face every day, like the technical challenges, the HR challenges, the business challenges. Part of it, I just used to it. So I know I will face with that one. I'm not getting surprised anymore. It's more easy to just handle to that one. Also, I had the time to work on myself, being more patient, don't get decisions so fast and stuff like that. And the other part of me is getting more hopeful because I'm seeing a transaction is happening on our platform. It's not just dream. It's not just some things on our computer. It's now a platform. Other people are using it. They are coming to it every day. So it gives us also the excitement or the reason of going through that process, trying to find something else that can help them, a new feature, and a new refinement, a new, I don't know, a new supplier, something that can help them to make these things they want to do better, more efficient, more effective.
I mean, when you launch a service, you have the hope, right? And the market fit is given by revenue. How do you feel when you got the first payment in?
Oh, I am in love with that person who bought the first subscription. I am 100% in love with that person. It's like, you are talking about these things with people, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, that's a cool idea, but is anyone wants to pay?" And you don't have a, even if we say yes, of course people want to pay, but we are not 100% sure. And the first person who is buying is giving us this the pleasure of we were right after all of this late night working and stress and challenge and convincing people and just challenging with the technical business, sending email, no answers, and everything like that. The pleasure of there are people they will pay for these things is coming by the first purchase. And I can say it never get finished. So every purchase has this feeling, has the same feeling, maybe a bit less, but it's still the same feeling.
No, absolutely. Now, there's something less pleasant, but every founder must face. Did you ever thinking and thought about failure?
Of course. Actually, as I mentioned, VGANG is a pivot, yeah? So when I moved to Portugal in the first days, VGANG wasn't like this. It was a platform more focusing on a shipping part, and we were thinking about the crowdsourcing the shipping. So I moved to Portugal and pandemic happened. There wasn't any way for running that business because there wasn't any travel, there wasn't any shipment, and there wasn't any even a business to happen. And I was a migrant and I was out of everything. So I needed to thinking about another things and I couldn't come up with any solutions. Part of me didn't want to accept the failure and part of me believed it's not working. Also, I lost the co-founder in that process. So I totally remember the burnout I had by that time. So even if there's someone talking about that startup, I could start crying because I couldn't think about the solution to get out of that process. It was really hard times. It was super hard times. And during that, actually, I met someone and he told me a very, very wise sentence. He says, if you don't have it there to give up, never start a startup because having a startup means giving up in lots of different things, giving up on an idea you believe it's definitely working on a strategy you feel like it's of course it's working on a person sometimes you really believe on that one, and if you don't dare to giving up and say okay that is not working, then you can't start a startup. And I think a lot about that things. I may say it a lot on that sentence. I totally remember because the whole January I was at home and I couldn't get out and I was thinking and I was trying to understand what's happening and what is the process inside me. Why am I facing with this amount of fear, this amount of like feeling the failure of the startup is failure of me. And like, but after lots of meditations, I felt like, okay, I don't want to continue in this way. I want to go through this process because I love to create some things. I really believe on that one, but also I want to enjoy the process, enjoy the path. So from that days, I'm trying to exercise it every day by myself. It's not about the it's not about a goal, it's not about this one destination, it's about a path. And I will continue that path until the day I can't enjoy it anymore. So I have this promise to myself every day: if I enjoy it, I will do it. If I don't enjoy it, I will stop it.
You must enjoy what you do. Absolutely. That's the first receipt to success is enjoyment. But happens to me not every day, but almost only because I've been through a lot already. You are much younger than me, but I'm still thinking about failure pretty much many times during the week. What do you do when these thoughts come to your mind? I do take away that.
I felt like, okay, failure is part of the process. It's not about don't being fail. Before I being in a work of in like a business wars, I was exercising taekwondo for 10 years. I was in a national team, taekwondo national team. I learned very specific things on everyday's exercise. That person who will lose a game tomorrow will come back to the exercise more powerful and more straightforward to get the next win. So win is coming from lose, and every time you just need to stand up and exercise harder and exercise harder. And somehow, since I was young, starting exercising taekwondo, I believe somehow that kind of idea just shaped in my mind, and I felt every day I'm feeling like that. Failure is scary. I don't want sugarcoat coated or say, oh no, I don't afraid of that one. Failure is scary, specifically for me as an immigrant person who don't have a nationality of a second country, who can't easily travel, who can't get back to his country and her safety. And failure is scary. I have the responsibility of the peoples they are working with me, and I have that mission and the feeling of I really want to do that things. But in the same times, I know I can't win if I don't fail. So I believe failure is part of the process. And I every day I'm thinking about, if I fail, I will try another things. I will try to think more, and I am happy to pivot. I'm happy to change the idea I'm thinking. I'm not like rigid on the things I'm saying right now. I'm trying to be more flexible. I don't know what will happen in a real situation, because the other times that happened, the failure happened, I couldn't get out of my home for a month. But I hope this time I learned more and be more flexible around that.
I mean, you say very right. Failure is just a process. Indeed, is only a process, right? You can fail five, six times. I did, and I'm still here today. It's still a process, and you must not be scared. Actually, I have to say, if you fail sometime, it's a good lesson. Only if you learn. Right? Lessons are right if you study the lesson and learn from it or from them. Otherwise, just useless. And the failure, we bring another one, another one, another one, because you are not learning anything. But it is absolutely a process to get right one day. Uh, Now, how do you train your brain? I mean, you must be extremely, extremely resilient. So, how do you train your brain? How do you avoid workaholic and burnout?
I am workaholic. I
Oh,
mean,
we are, but we need balance one day.
that's true, because I have some rules for myself. For example, I'm not working after 9 p.m. I of course I will check between 11 to 12. I'll always check my laptop, make sure everything is like working smoothly. But normally between after 8 or 9 p.m., I'm not working anymore. It means I'm not answering my phone. It means I'm not checking anything, and we have like a just one messaging app. If very urgent things happen, people will messaging me, and I will see that one, and we get back to the work. But in a normal situation, I'm not working, and I'm trying to make sure I will keep that one. I'm going for a walk, and meditation is very, very necessary part of my life. So every day I push myself to do the meditation, to have like a 15, 20 minutes just for myself, sitting in a peace and breathing, and just being in a nowhere, when you are not thinking, when your mind is free and free and free, and you are just focusing on a present. And after that, I try to just talking with my friends and my family members, calling them, being just spent trying to having a bit of a time with just creating some connections and bounds out of the work, something, talking about some concept that is not related to work. And this is stuff I believe it can help me to keep my sanity, you know.
Do you believe in having a routine, something that helps you to go day by day, kind of method to live, not only to work?
I believe the routine can. There are some specific routine I really believe that are important to put it in your life. Like, for example, we are brushing our teeth every night. It's not we are not questioning it. Let's do be adventurous and don't do it in for a week or two. We are just doing it every day because we know it's important. So I believe there are stuff we need to keep it as a routine, like for example, like the meditation, like a time you are spending just for yourself. Like when your body is saying, I can't work, staying on a bed and don't feel guilty about that. These are stuffs you feel like you have to do it. You have to has a part of your day. I forgot to say, for example, Saturday for me is off day. So I'm not working on Saturday at all. It's the only day I can do whatever I want to do, being lazy, cooking foods, or going out, or like doing whatever I want to do except work. So this kind of stuff as a routine, I believe is really helpful, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't go beyond that routine, because if we just feel so comfortable in the routine every day we have, like starting a work on a specific time, doing some task, finishing that task, going to the next things and next things, if we just stuck on that routine, then we are giving our the chance of being creative from ourselves as well. So in the same times, I believe there are items you need to keep it as a routine. Also, I believe you need to be adventurous as well. And you should be always saying yes to whatever is coming to you. Like if there is a moment you can go out and sitting in the nature, just go and do that things. If there is a call for, would you like to come to this conference, go and do that things, because being out of that kind of comfort zone is helping us to being creative, meeting new people, understanding about a new technology, or getting a new idea about our business.
I mean, I'm so against comfortable zone. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will never enjoy my life in full, but it's okay. I do believe comfort zone are very bad for any entrepreneur. Does push you anyway above the limit, but you just stay below the limit. And we should push ourselves all the time without any possible. Yes, of course, we're cautious, but not worrying to fail or whatever it is. Now, you must have some bright life. I don't want to go to the very bright one, but how do you enjoy your life outside working? Do you read, watch movie? I don't know, traveling.
The first things actually I found about myself. So I am coming from a big city. I'm from Tehran. So it's like a big city, super busy one. And then I moved to Lisbon. It was a smaller city, but it's still a city. The first things I found about myself is I'm feeling happy when I am in nature. But because of the way I am working, I don't have that much of a time to travel and being in the nature. So I decided to move to the nature, and now I'm living in the middle of the nature. So it gave me the opportunity of walking a lot, and being walking in the woods. It feels amazing because you have all the energy around you, all the good energy around you, and you can get connected to the nature. I walk a lot. I watch TV, actually, of course. I loved watching some sort of sometimes very cheesy, girlish TV series, and sometimes actually some of this very sci-fi movies about like how the life is changing and how everything we just go around and beyond and we change at the end. The other thing I really love is being in a social media at the end of the day, like being in Twitter and checking around what is happening, what's the good new gossip in a tech life, and stuff like that. I really love to do it as well. And I love play Catan. It's a board game. So whenever my friends are here, I love to play Catan, and I am really competitive on that case, like continuing it for 4, 5, 6 hours to make sure I will win.
I mean, entrepreneurs are the most, by definition, solo. You have to spend a lot of time with yourself. Many times when you run a business, you can't show your weakness. All of us, we are very weak. There is nothing to do. Even though we want to be look like very strong. We are weak. We are humans. We are weak. There is nothing to do. When we have problems, we are worried and weakness come. So you must keep a lot inside, and you don't have so much time to share your life on both sides with your friends. Does affect this to you as well? I mean, how being founder affects your friendship, for example?
That's true because it's hard to keep friends because you don't have that much of a time to spending with your friends. Yeah. So if I am looking to my life, I can say I have a few friends nowadays, and interestingly, these people are really look like me. So it means they have their own business or they are working as a serious people in like a big businesses, biggest startups. Somehow, it's the way we can find each other's because now I don't need to, for example, explain, Masha, I don't have a time for spending with you because there are times she don't have a time to spend with me. And also it means whenever we are coming together, we really appreciate that time we have together because we know how rare is this moments to just don't have anything and any sort of a challenge or any sort of anxiety or stress to think about it and spending with your friend. But it's not easy to keep lots of friends. It's not easy to it's not like, for example, having a nightlife every night, like going out, going to a club, going to a bar, going with your friends outside to a restaurant or something like that. It's really hard. At least in an earlier stage, it's not easy even being committed to more important activities, like, for example, going to the gym, because there are lots of times you can't plan about the time of some of the meetings that are really important, or you can't plan about the bug your company is facing or the issue you are facing with your order, so you need to be there. So sometimes it's really hard to even committing on those kind of activity.
You say right. Entrepreneurs are solo. There is nothing to do, and many times you're just with yourself, and you must accept this. In life, you can have everything. That's what it is, at least for me. Uh, which is your best lesson you got so far? And if your life previously is helping you today to be a better founder and one day to be a great leader for your employees?
I think the biggest lesson I learned, which if I get back, I will try to do it. And if I want to give advice to anyone, I will give it to them. It's about enjoying the path. Enjoying the path is more important to reach to some specific mission. It doesn't mean it's not important to meet the KPIs or meet the startup goals or everything like that. It means as a founder, you need to learn about the path is important. The path is important about the decision we are making, about the people we are working with, about the product we are delivering, about the user or people user are using our platforms as well. The path of seeing and learning and improving. The path of accepting some mistakes, accepting the things you did some things wrong, or you lost some things, or you failed some things, and learn from that one and continue. This path is the path of is the path of entrepreneurship. It's the way you will go and grow on that one until you and your business grow on that process at the end.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Uh, I love to live on my dream, still living in the nature, maybe having another dog, and still enjoying whatever I'm doing. I hope to say I'm still working on VGANG, and it's like a big business that, like, the mission I have, like the dream I have, everything is working the way I love to. But I don't want to put a condition on being happy. So I hope in 5 years I still be happy and like today living my dream.
And your greatest wish?
VGANG works. My greatest wish is creating a company as big as can provide opportunity for people, specifically female, in areas they don't have opportunity to come to the work. So my greatest dream is as vegan turn to some things I can throw that one I can help the people that are living in a rural area create some things, create some ethical product, and can sell and can make money for themselves. If they are influencers or if they are artists, they can do it. They can just being part of the selling process and this advertising process and make money. if they don't know anything, but they can do some things technical, we can teach them and help them to work as a technical, like the people they are working in this process. So my biggest dream is VGANG being more than just the SaaS platform, but being an ecosystem of people coming together and helping to increase the peace and increase the conscious decisions, actions. It's the thing I really believe on, and it's the thing I really love to do it.
Asma, I really thank you for taking part of first day. This is absolutely day one of the Life of a Founder. As we have the founder talk, and now we decided to launch our founder. Sometimes it still make confusion in my mind. But I really thank you for making our episode number one. I really wish you all the best. That's really my wish to you, to your co-founder. And again, behind any startup, there are founders. Behind any founder is a story. Today, we've been very pleased to share your story. Having you sharing your story with us. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much for having me. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was my honor to being here, and I'm so grateful for that.